Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, kings and queens of the land. Good morning, the royals. Good morning to the liberated zones of Africa, Burkina Faso, led by President Ibrahim Traore. Mali, led by President Assimi Goita. And Niger, led by President uh, Abdurrahman Tian. Good morning. Liberated Zone in South Africa, KZN, led by the MK Party. The MK Party itself, led by President Jacob Gelesegisa Zuma. Good morning, KZN. Good morning, sons and daughters of the land. My name is Mngoni Mkonto. This is the Royal Opinion. Thank you very much for joining. Today we are talking about the rebranding of President Cyril Ramaphosa. We are talking about the reason why President Ramaphosa is getting a rebrand. We're talking about why the actual the actual happening, the actual rebranding of President Ramaphosa. Um, USA, let me start there. President Trump have decided to stop, to pause a little bit and saying it's under investigation. The aid that US aid gave to South Africa. First, let me talk about, maybe I should first talk about the aid itself, uh, which is being given to South Africa. Many people, me and you, maybe, or people who are not affected, may take it just as a simple statement. But for those who will not have the ARVs, when Donald Trump takes his aid to South Africa, because some of the money is used for that. When such things happen, when such announcements are made that people may not have their ARVs, the fear it creates inside people, the fear it creates where on those who are affected, it's massive. Yeah, I just wanted to acknowledge that part. And not only fear, the reality of people dying if they are not getting their drugs. It is a reality. People are dying when they are not getting their drugs. Um, the the human body does not differentiate between legal and illegal drugs. I don't want to say a lot. The body does not differentiate between legal and illegal drugs. So normally they teach us that drugs kills. So we should keep that lesson that the American are teaching us, that drugs are dangerous. So um, having mentioned in the opening of what I'm going to talk about today, about the aid. The reason why I'm talking about the aid is because it's one example that I want to show how President Ramaphosa is getting a rebrand and how it is done under our nose and without us recognizing what is happening. The aid that they give to, let's say they allocate money to come to South Africa, whatever aid that actually charity, I would say, is the biggest scam in the planet. Charity is the biggest scam in the planet. What they call charity is actually a scam. It's not a reality that there's anybody who gives any money for free. What happens when they say they are giving aid or they are giving charity is government gives them, okay, first the company which is donating or the person who is donating will be given tax breaks, meaning they can save. I was reading, they say they can save up to 74% uh, on taxes. Um, uh, SARS or whosoever is the taxing agent in those countries, uh, big companies can save up to 74% of uh, their tax obligations by giving aid or by giving money to charity. Secondly, when they give the money to charity, they give the money to be administered by their own companies. These companies that they are using in South Africa are those companies from black people who are pushing their interest of their American agenda, meaning this is a way to bribe politicians. People who are working for their agenda um, get paid mostly through, some of them get paid through these charity schemes. So, thirdly, the charity organization, the one who is donating, will be given government bonds. What are government bonds? Government bonds, it's one of the safest investment portfolio or on the market. One of the best and one of the safest investment portfolio on the market. Because how it works is the company will be paid maybe on monthly basis, depending on the type of agreement, maybe on annual basis or maybe on monthly basis. The company will be paid, will be repaid. The organization which is giving the investment will be repaid. The money is going to be repaid by the taxpayers, the charity organizations, the people who comes and donate uh, um, for any good. The people are given government bonds, and government bonds is a debt which will be paid by the taxpayers. So they will be paid in full, uh, breaking it in monthly basis, normally in a period of 10 years or 20 years, whatever type of agreement that the bond has. But after paying the full amount uh, through the breakdown of the amount into a monthly basis, they will also pay 100% of the amount when they are closing the bond again. So, meaning the person who is investing through charities is actually the best investment you can have in the market than any other investment. Charity is not as we think. Charity is the biggest scam or the biggest investments that these companies are making. And charity is paid by South Africans. So when they say America has been aiding South Africa, or South Africa has been outsourcing its responsibility to take care of their sick people, or the people who are HIV positive. They means South Africa have been scammed for so long, because these people have been getting 100% of their money in multiple times through government bonds. They have been paid through tax cuts in their countries where the companies come from. They have been paid. So the charity is one of the biggest scam in the um, in the history of humanity. Those who are investing in charity are the richest people in the planet. And one thing about the charity, laws allows them to, when they say they are donating, they are giving, uh, when they when money comes into a particular charity organization, uh, they are allowed to spend 95% of the money on other investments, and only invest 5% of the money which is meant for aid to the actual people whom they are supposed to be assisting. And even in that case, they still use their own organization, they still use corruptions, they use comrades, uh, comrades companies to do their aid work. So when Donald Trump says he's going to take his aid away from South Africa, he's going to stop his own profit, because he's making massive amount of profit through those charities. And the American interest is pushed through those charities in all the countries, because through those charities they are able to reduce the population of the planet. They are able to depopulate people. Uh, uh, they are able to come up with those programs that they are using for to sterilize black women, to experiment dangerous medication on black people. They are using all of those things through the charities. The charities are like more like the church. They have been dignified, their image has been cleaned, because they are said to be giving, but they are actually not giving. These are very dangerous companies which are aggressive on their investment and aggressive in their profit making approach. Those are the charities. I was just giving a background of actually what is happening. So, even if, let's say, Donald Trump wanted to take his aid from South Africa, um, it's actually a good thing if he does that, so that South Africans will be able to will be given a chance to start making another way to survive. We should not be trusting white people with our health. We should never trust white people with our health as black people, because white people, they are our enemies. They actually came to kill, to destroy, to steal. So if you allow such people to give you medication, what are they going to do with your body if they've got access through medication? Are they going to help you to live a nice life, or they're going to make sure that you continue to live an oppressed life? So we should find our own healing elements. So how does this issue comes about to the issue that we are talking about, which is the rebranding of President Cyril Ramaphosa, and the reason why President Ramaphosa is being rebranded. Let me give a background. Thank you very much, Mr. King Victor Shongwe, for joining, then for your comment uh, saying teacher, uh, present teacher. Thank you very much. Anyone who is present can please give a notice that I'm also present so that I know who am I talking to, who is the student today. So Ramaphosa, initial image, Ramaphosa has been branded by somebody by as somebody who has contributed massively in the struggle of South Africa. His image was built like that initially, that Ramaphosa is one person who is contributed, is a unionist and turned a businessman. At some stage, they were saying Ramaphosa, the perfect president South Africa never had. That was before Ramaphosa took over as president. I think I had a book. I was reading a book called "The Best President We Never Had," Ramaphosa. Before, because the these people, the capital, they were thinking, or they were already convinced that Ramaphosa will not be able to become president. But while they had their agenda, so Ramaphosa, as soon as he took over, then the people started to expose. He started to expose himself. Not only people, he started to expose himself, and more information came out about him, that Ramaphosa is actually a wide project, that Ramaphosa is actually an apartheid spy who is working for white people, that Ramaphosa has been paid. These are facts. That Ramaphosa has been paid by white people to take over the ANC, and actually to bribe members of the ANC for Ramaphosa to ascend the presidential seat. So his image at the moment is damaged in the eyes of South Africans. He's got a negative image. People believe, even the members of the ANC believes that Ramaphosa is pro-white, and that Ramaphosa is working for white people. The members of the ANC themselves does knows and does believe that Ramaphosa is actually in that way. So, because of this fact, uh, Ramaphosa has suffered a lot of, I would say, support. People does not like Ramaphosa because of these facts. Ramaphosa may be leading South Africa, but South Africans are not necessarily interested in Ramaphosa. Even when he's making speeches, there's no more many people who are joining to watch Ramaphosa speaking. Nobody, many South Africans, I would say maybe 90% of South Africans are not necessarily interested to hear Ramaphosa speaking, because they know exactly what he's going to say. He's going to repeat this, he's going to repeat that, and if it's about if it's com- commem- commem- co- commemoration day, is going to list the names of the struggle heroes and all those things, and then is going to come to, hey youth, today this is what we need to do. These women have fought and all of those things. You know what they normally say in their speeches. So Ramaphosa has been basically known as somebody who works for white people. It has been generally accepted that Ramaphosa works with white people, and he has never denied it himself in public. So, having given that background, now the white people want somebody to take over the ANC after Ramaphosa. The white people can't find a suitable person in the ANC who will find the support of the ANC members and also be in favor of their white project like Ramaphosa is. White people are stuck between a rock and a hard place. In 2027, Ramaphosa have to vacate vacate the position uh, of president of the ANC. But at the same time, the white people are not happy about his replacement. They wanted to push Ronald Lamola. Ronald Lamola, they are not able to push him enough because his popularity is very low. He's still a young boy in South African politics. Fikile Mbalula cannot be trusted by black people. Black people does not trust Fikile Mbalula, and white people knows this. Paul Mashatile cannot be trusted by white people because he is said to be part of the MK party. So the white people are in dilemma on who is going to lead the ANC next. So the ANC, the white people have decided that Ramaphosa should actually continue in 2027 as president of the ANC and actually continue as state president to they want they are giving a different Ramaphosa, somebody who is going to be seen as a very strong personality and somebody who is going to be seen as anti-white, who is against white people. Ramaphosa did not sign any law against white people. Expropriation of land without compensation, in actual fact, in the constitution is not there. Ramaphosa has changed the constitution in favor of white people. He said expropriation of land with, not without, with nil compensation, meaning what they want to do, they want to compensate white people using government bonds. Government bonds is what I was talking about earlier, where you're going to pay, the taxpayers, black people are going to pay for the land. Again, the government will have to negotiate with white people who've got the land, if they want any land, and is still a willing buyer, willing seller. It's still the same 1994 agreement. There's never been any change in this policy, which Ramaphosa has signed into law. So basically, there's no reason for anyone to be alarmed about it. Everybody knows, all the white people, all the white political organization, and all the white people, including Donald Trump, are quite aware that there's nothing into that law that Ramaphosa has signed that will actually help black people to get their land. They know. And Ramaphosa also know that he's not going to disturb um, some witches have sent me something. So Ramaphosa also know that he's not going to do anything against white people. So they are clear about that, but they have to play the drama in order to confuse black people. They have to play the drama to confuse the people who are watching. Let me give this rare moment of Ramaphosa talking against white people. Let me share this video of very rare moments.
What Donald Trump has to do with South African land, because he's never been here. And he must keep his America, we will keep our South Africa. That's what he must do. South Africa is our land. South Africa belongs to all the people who live here in South Africa. It does not belong to Donald Trump. He can keep his America. And Ene is even worse. He's even worse. When I meet him, I will tell him. I'll say, you, Donald Trump, you are even worse because your forebears came to America. They found the native, the indigenous Americans. They wiped them out. They killed nearly all of them. Rine, we are living as a nation, and black and white, we are going to find solutions for our land question. So Donald Trump must leave us alone. He must leave us alone, Maori. When we were facing apartheid, when we were facing oppression, he was not here. He did not fight side by side with us. And we were able, on our own, yes, with support of progressive forces in the world, to resolve the apartheid question. As far as I recall, Donald Trump was not around the negotiating table when we negotiated the end of apartheid. So stick around there in the White House. We will do our business here, and we will find solutions for our problems. So stay out of our issues, and we will not get involved in your issues in America. You have your own problems. Leave us alone. We are sitting now around the table.
So Ramaphosa has never been any brave, has never been that brave that he can talk to Donald Trump like that. And he's not brave even now that he can talk against Trump like that. Uh, the reason he's able to talk like that is because it's what they've agreed that Ramaphosa has to be rebranded so that in 2027 Ramaphosa should continue as ANC president in order to prevent the takeover by President Zuma, who is planning to take over the ANC. On the background, while people are actually in the dilemma, they don't understand what they are going to do about the ANC. They've got two people that they, Julius Malema, who is actually part of the rebranding of Ramaphosa, who actually spoke. Julius Malema is part of the sellout projects, sellout people, sellout leaders in South Africa. So he's part of the people who must talk nice about Cyril Ramaphosa. I think Julius Malema has gone very low, though. Like some of the things I don't even like discussing because it's very low. Like what he commented yesterday when he said he does not even want the MK members to come to funerals of the EFF. There's never, in my understanding, the EFF is still alive. There's never been any funeral of the EFF. Why would you say people should not come to a funeral of the EFF? Which funeral of the EFF? Because what we know is EFF is a political organization which is well and alive. So what funerals are you talking about? You can't say people should not attend funerals of community members, whether you belong to any political party. If my brother belongs to the EFF, when he dies, I have to bury him. Whatever political organization, even if they belong to the DA, even if they are apartheid spies, when they die, I have to bury them. So I can't say uh, like this, because they've got opposing view to what I'm having, then we should not meet. It's actually irrational because everywhere in South Africa you're going to meet MK members. So he said he's not even going to the. He was not even going to the derbies, but he's got another plan. But well, I'm not talking about Julius. I was just remarking about other things there. There's quite a lot of things to say. Julius Malema spoke positively about Ramaphosa and about Ramaphosa signing the expropriation bill. The expropriation bill, which is basically the same, exactly the same as it is in the current situation, where it's willing buyer, willing seller. He's praising, he is praising Ramaphosa for resigning the willing buyer, willing seller, because Ramaphosa must be rebranded. So he's one of the people who are part of the projects of rebranding President Ramaphosa. And the reason for the rebranding of the president is for 2027, because they want him to continue. So black people in the ANC and black people in South Africa should change from seeing Ramaphosa as pro-white president, as somebody whom white people love him. They must start to see Ramaphosa as somebody whom white people don't like, so that black people will vote for such a person. They don't want a situation where everything is in the open. They want people to get confused on who is on their side. They have tried to issue a propaganda video about uh, uh, President Zuma when they issue the video of that criminal Janus Walos who killed Chris Hani. They tried to issue that propaganda. So they issue propaganda about the right leaders. Uh, Negative propaganda about the right leaders who are leading South Africa to freedom. But then positive propaganda about people who are taking South Africa back. King Victor saying Lozi is the first victim of Rama rebranding. So much for a doctor. Yes, uh, Rama is getting rebranded. Lozi is one of the people. Let me say, normally I don't like discussing people who've got no necessarily um, material impact in the struggle of black people. Lozi has got no material impact on the struggle of black people. So, but let me talk a little bit about him, my views about him. Um, Lozi is an academic. Uh, I don't think he's a politician. He's a careerist. He's looking for position. The reason he stayed too long in the EFF is because he was worried about his salary. Where is he gonna get his next salary to pay his bills? There's nothing else that was those. There's no principle that made him to stay so long in the EFF. It was only because he was worried about where to get his salary. I mean, Rosie is a doctor. He should be, if they say education can improve uh, somebody's life, it means people like that should shine the light, should be able to create companies and run those companies, assist those who have not went to school. But apparently, it was not the case with Rose. He was entirely dependent on the salary that was getting in parliament. So the reason he did not leave earlier in the EFF, it was merely because of worries about his salaries. He's got no principle as such. So whether he goes to the ANC or wherever he's going, uh, Lozi, I don't think Lozi has got any impact. Like I have never heard him speak anything that I would say I remember him talking. Really, I heard him interfering there and there in Parliament, telling people that they must not sleep. Most of his intervention was jokingly in Parliament. He never said anything striking that anyone can ever remember. As such, it may sound like maybe I'm attacking him, but I'm actually telling the truth and my views about him, whether his political contribution is going to be immersed or. But like you are saying, Mr. Ishongwe, he is part of the rebranding. He is actually, I would say, not even a victim. He deserves it because he is on that line. There is not like Floyd Shivambu who can sacrifice everything, sacrifice the position in parliament, sacrifice whatever that has to be given, and go and get to the ground because of principle. So he's looking for greener pastures. He's a careerist. He's looking for greener pastures to keep his lifestyle in town. You have to pay the bills in town, and you have to pay the bills in order to keep the lifestyle. So he is looking to keep the lifestyle, but he's looking for the place where he can get immediate relief to continuing with his lifestyle. I guess the ANC has given him that immediate relief that he may be seeking. I think I spent it quite an intense time talking about him. But the issue today that we are discussing is about the rebranding project of Cyril Ramaphosa, which is working well in the eyes of the public. It's actually working well. Suddenly, Ramaphosa has become like Robert Mugabe, and suddenly Ramaphosa is brave. If it was a reality, if indeed Ramaphosa has signed the law that would actually change South Africa, he wouldn't be talking like that. So he's going to sit down with Donald Trump if indeed Donald Trump is not understanding. But in actual fact, Donald Trump does understand what is happening. So it's just that they have to play the gallery, they have to play the drama in order to keep black people confused. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. I actually wanted to give this presentation. Thank you for joining. Click the like button. If you are joining us for the first time, click the like button and subscribe. This channel is highly censored. It will help if you remember to click the like button and subscribe so that more people can get the knowledge and get away from the confusion which is distributed through the propaganda missions, the television stations, and all those things. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Please enjoy your day.